Okay, welcome back to the channel, part 2 of building the Overland trailer. Got it right here. I took the tent and the awning and the roof rack and everything off of the Jeep for a trail that I just went on. So we're gonna get the trailer inside, pull the tent and rack back off so I can go back on the Jeep and do a little cutting on the trailer. Got these little aluminum, plastic coated aluminum strips here. First I didn't know what they were for, but I figured out that instead of having 3 points sitting on the rail to mount this, it distributes the weight along the entire rail, so kind of an important feature. Okay, now let's do some work on the trailer. Okay, so my first plan was to take these uprights and cut them down to what I wanted the height of the trailer to be. But now I'm thinking that instead of cutting these exactly where I want the height to be, because the suspension is going to change anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my measurement between these two pieces and I'm going to cut these down to the exact height that I can make cross supports for these. So I guess I'll do some measuring and we'll just cut it to where I can still use that steel that comes off. So they measure in between the uprights, they measure between 22.25 and 23. So I think I'm going to safely go ahead and cut this down 23 inches from the top. Okay, so scratch that, because if I cut these down 23 inches, that only gives me about a 36-inch trailer body height, and that's not going to be correct for where we want the top of the tent to sit. So I'm gonna do this the way I originally intended, and I'm gonna cut this for the height of trailer body that I want. We're going to use a bandsaw because that's the first tool that I found that cuts stuff. Two things: safety glasses, and I need to put a strap on the top of this so when I cut everything, so when I cut everything, it doesn't all come crashing down. Just realized I rolled the A-frame in front of you guys. Sorry about that. That's a workout. Open air overland trailer. Well, I could have found a potential problem, but lucky for us, we're cutting the back of this trailer off anyways for departure angle. But yeah, it doesn't look good. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you could just, oh, yeah. Easy disassembly. Just quick detachable uprights. That's what that is. Everything else is pretty solid. So I think I'm going to take this out, bring the top down. We'll cut all the rest of the risers off of the top, and we will cut the top down to length, get it mounted back on the uprights. Now, lengthwise, we're going to want this to be the same length as the tent, which I think is 6.5 feet. I'm going to go measure it to make sure. The width is going to stay the same, obviously, because I don't want my trailer like this. And yeah, cut off the rest of the uprights, cut it to 6.5 feet. Let's do it. So the farthest back upright is at 6 feet. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the trailer body 6 feet long, and the tent will just overhang by a tiny bit on each side. That'll be fine. If you're wondering why I'm cutting the back 2 uprights off and I trimmed them to pull the top off, I don't know. We could have had full uprights to do something with. But that's what happens when you're an idiot. Well, that kind of ruined my plans. You can't use a bandsaw much when your saw is not a band. I've already had some fractures in there though. I don't know if you can see that. Yep. Had some fractures and decided to break it, that one. Gotta go see if I have another bandsaw blade. Well, I don't have another bandsaw blade, so we're going to use some air to create sparks. Now that I've cut off all the uprights, I don't have anywhere for my straps to go, so I think I'm just going to back this in here and manhandle it back on top of the uprights. Yeah. Okay, top's on, let's get the welder. Now, the key to good welding is making sure that your settings are set right. I don't know what any of it means, so we're just gonna mess with it till it looks good. Now the back of this looks terrible. Let me show you. So got a probably a 1/4 inch gap right here on both sides and touching here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the back ones down about a 1/4 inch, and that'll lay it all down level. Actually, we're not going to cut the back ones down because the back ones are actually going to get cut at an angle partway down. So we're just going to take the back ones off for now and then finish welding the uprights, and then yeah. Now that I'm confident my settings are okay, let's go ahead and finish welding this up, and might just call it a day after that. It ain't pretty, but it gets the job done. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bud, don't you know? That's probably the prettiest weld I've ever done right there. Anyways. Alright guys, I think I'm going to call it quits for the day. Made some pretty good progress. At least we got this down to the height where we wanted it. I think that's going to be just about right for the tent. I might lose a little height when I build my suspension, but it's going to be right about where I want it. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go home and hang out with the wife and kids. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for more. We'll be back at it soon.